Welcome, Governor Mike Kehoe of the great state of Missouri. How are you, sir?
Heidi, good afternoon. I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. These floods are crazy in the Black River area. Talk to me a little bit about what's going on. I know you've already sent helicopters out to rescue people. What's the latest?
Well, we're very fortunate to have a fantastic first responder community, Heidi, down in the Reynolds and Iron County area. We had National Weather Service guy who, when I was down at the command center, was telling me 12 inches of rain in just a matter of hours in parts of the Arcadia Valley. And he has never seen that much rain in that short of a time. So it was a very unique, I would say historic storm that came through last week that really, in the Ozarks, when it rained, water only has one place to go, and it goes down into the valley. In this case, it was the Black River Valley. So we had our National Guard heroes out there, Missouri's Task Force One, which is a nationally recognized first responder community group from folks all over the state, as well as local fire officials, sheriffs, even volunteer fire departments, all helping to get folks out of that flooded area and to safe zone. Unfortunately, one of the camps that the kids were at, enjoying a summer camp, they were stranded on a hill and surrounded by water. And so our Missouri National Guard, our citizen heroes, came in and took care of business with some Blackhawk helicopters and got them to safe ground. So I'm thankful to the first responder community and what amazing efforts they did to get people safe in that storm.
That's incredible. We're speaking to Governor Mike Kehoe. I'm Heidi Harris in for Annie Frey. When you're telling that story, it's a bad situation, I know, but I'm thinking of the kids who were little campers stuck on a mountain and getting to fly in a Blackhawk helicopter. That's going to be a story they're going to tell their grandchildren.
Well, I've told several of the parents that. I'm glad we were able to get the kids out, and after everybody was safe and satisfied their kids and some of the adult volunteers were out, I said, now you do know next year's camp experience will nearly be as exciting. So, it was really good to see, though, being able to use those assets, put people at ease. Obviously, if you're a parent, my wife and I are a parent of four, parents or grandparents of one, I should say, you get a little nervous after last year's really tragic experience down in Texas.
Yes.
It's like that. So we're able to give the parents a peace of mind and get them out of there safely.
Yes, we're speaking with Governor Mike Kehoe. So how many people are affected by this? What are the long-term effects going to be? Do you have any idea at this point?
Sure. We did 360 rescues. 106 of those were water rescues.
Wow.
It's mainly a two-county area, and it was obviously low-lying areas. There was some property damage, fence damage, livestock lost, obviously. We unfortunately did have one fatality in the county just a hair north of that, in Crawford County. But without the swift action of our first responders, I was fearful that it could have been worse. Long-term is just now is the cleanup process that starts right away. Our Red Cross volunteers were down there just doing a wonderful job trying to get people situated. We signed an executive order that declared the area a disaster area, and now we'll go through the process with those county officials who, again, were amazing to find out what federal assistance and state assistance can be had to assist in the cleanup.
And I guess there's not much that could have been done, obviously, to avoid this. I mean, you got Mother Nature pounding 12 inches of rain down in that area, and it's going to wind up in the valley, as you mentioned.
No, it's an act of God. There's nothing you can do. We did have some really good people that our state parks officials, our conservation agents, various assets we had in the area that were aware of the storms were working very hard to make sure people in low-lying areas were aware of it. And thankfully, those advance warnings did get people out of there in time and at least got them to high ground to where we could get them safe after everything unleashed.
That's incredible. I mean, the response has been incredible, and thank you for that. Governor, you have any comments about Lindsey Graham, his untimely passing?
I met him in passing a few times. I loved his common sense approach. He was one of, you think of him, you think of people like Senator Kennedy from Louisiana.
I love him. Oh, my gosh, I love him.
They have a way of putting things that make it seem super simple and to the point. Yeah. And that's certainly what I think about Lindsey, Senator Graham. What a great service to our country and obviously to his home state, but just a great common sense person. Somebody we need, more of in politics. It's unfortunate, as many of your listeners know, I'm 40 years in small business, so politics isn't my gig, but I do like people who just try to figure a way to keep government out of their life and then, make common sense solutions to get things to run appropriately. And that's what Lindsey Graham did.
Yeah, and there are always people who criticize Lindsey Graham because he was too willing to reach across the aisle. But my thinking is you're not going to be able to get anything accomplished if you can't at least talk to people of the other party. If you go in elbows out, you're not going to deal with anybody. You're not going to get very far.
Well, Heidi, what I always say, I'm a Christian conservative and proud of the conservative record that I've ran on. But it doesn't mean that I don't get to talk to other people, because
Right.
It's easy to scream and holler and tell people how you would govern and all that. But it's really different when you actually want to get something done. You do want to govern. You have to figure out a path forward. Sometimes that takes what Lindsey Graham did. Our own Senator Roy Blunt, who just retired, we lost Senator Kit Bond a year ago. He was great at it. I know Senator Schmitz and Holly are trying to understand and work in those footsteps of the great Missouri senators that came before him. But you do have to work with the other side to actually get something done. And there's a way to do that without compromising your values.
Exactly. And that's the and by the way, I just want you to know I'm a Christian conservative too, Governor. When I said Mother Nature, I was joking about the rain.
Well, I was wondering about a girl from Las Vegas, if she could survive all that. But congratulations, because you have. I've read your bio. You've done great.
Well, I've stood up to the culture, and I've had them try to swat me, and I'm not backing down because I know what God says, and that's what I stick to all the time. But that's what we have to do. In the culture war, we don't have to go in elbows out, same thing, but we have to at least stand up for our beliefs, and we just can't waver, and too many people are waffling and wavering nowadays.
Right. Be proud of who you are, what your parents and the people around you brought you up to be, and, own it. That's what I say.
Well, and I'm proud of, I'm grateful to be a child of God, and I try to live up to what he wants me to do every day. Governor Kehoe, what a privilege to talk to you today, sir.
Yes, ma'am. We're thankful to have you on, and welcome to Missouri, and thanks for filling in for Annie. We're always grateful.
Thank you, Annie. We'll be back soon, and it's always fun hanging out with these crazies here on 97.1 FM Talk. They're a bunch of nutballs, but they're so great. They're so talented.
Well, they're fun nutballs. That's the thing.
That's the truth. Thank you, Governor. Appreciate you so much.
Yes, ma'am.